The Free State finds itself in the middle of a national debate on mid-decade redistricting. We didn't start this. We don't want this. It is counter-constitutional. It is also the game that is being played. If you were in a boxing match where it was known that your opponent had packed a roll of coins in their gloves as they were fighting you, you would have two choices. You can either whine to the referee, who already knows your opponent is cheating and doesn't seem to care, or you can load your glove too and hit them back as hard as you can. There's an old saying, desperate times call for desperate measures. I can think of no more desperate time in the recent history of our country than now, when we are trying to push back against authoritarian overreach. We need all hands on deck to meet the moment and protect our fragile constitutional republic while we have a chance. If we don't get it right now, we may not have another chance to do so. While I ordinarily would be diametrically opposed to mid-decade redistricting, and I have always been opposed to the wanton political gerrymandering the courts have allowed, right now the opponent is fighting with a loaded glove, so we don't have the luxury of standing on principle. I support Governor Moore and the House of Delegates' efforts to have Maryland play her part in protecting our country against this unhinged onslaught from the federal government, Congress, and the judiciary. The leadership in the Maryland State Senate argues that if we redistrict, we might lose a court challenge. However, it is the courts that have allowed wanton, partisan gerrymandering for years. It is the Supreme Court that, despite its recent penchant to make wrong decisions, understands that after allowing Texas to do mid-decade gerrymandering, they could not deny California the same right. So if they've allowed Missouri to take a congressional seat away from Democrats, they will be hard-pressed to argue that it is unfair for Maryland to attempt a countermeasure. Should our government, our politics, and our country run in this matter? Hell no. But until everyone in our government at every level chooses to govern in a manner that is consistent with the original intent of the Constitution with respect to redistricting, Maryland must meet the moment and do the same. If we do not, and Republicans manage to steal enough seats in this process to have a one-seat majority in the next Congress, we will have served the nation and our own residents poorly, with horrific consequences to come.